Hi everyone, I'm Kevin with My Shop Assist. In this video, I'm going to go over the vendor connected purchase orders, which is the fourth part of this video series. Part number one was how to handle quantity on hand and inventory for parts in our My Shop Assist system. Part number two was the vendor table and how to create vendors and make sure you can email and call them with your information, which was necessary for part three, which was the purchase orders. And then the purchase orders, we kind of went over how to create one, how to add the parts to it, how to send it. And this is a very similar concept to really all three of them. And this is, I think, pretty revolutionary for how we in the performance world work with parts, mostly because we deal with a lot of very small parts manufacturers that don't have the capacity to have huge APIs and all this complex web interconnection. So we are doing that for you all, so that way you guys can connect to your smaller vendors and help smaller vendors sell their parts to other shops that they work with. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to have to do this video from two perspectives. So example, or the first part of it is going to be a shop that manufactures parts, like maybe small quantities, maybe big quantities, doesn't really matter. Maybe this shop is using MSA, making stuff, and they want to sell those parts to other shops that use MSA. The idea behind this whole thing was that me as a shop owner, and this is a real problem for all of us, my parts catalog is always out of date for pricing. People are constantly changing prices on everything. It's impossible to keep up with it. If you're running a website, you basically have to 24/7 manage all the pricing on everything, and it's silly that it's like that when it can very easily be automated, which is what we are doing. So I am doing this first part of the video from the perspective of we'll call you a manufacturer. What you want to do first is inside your MSA, you're going to click the shop button and you're going to go to this little garage icon. So this is the garage icon. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click the description. So here it's going to ask what you do, like what parts do you sell or what you do for other shops. So we are going to say we make parts for Evo 8, 9, and X. The next step is you're going to select your customer support team. This is who is going to get contacted if anyone has a problem or needs to make an order or whatever. And the last part is going to be the zone for incoming orders. This is important because what happens is when someone that is connected to you sends a purchase order, that purchase order needs to go to a zone. It becomes a job in your MSA, and we want to put it in a zone. I made a very specific zone for it, and we're going to go ahead and do that in this one as well. But for now, I'm going to start with the long-term builds, and then we'll go and change it. So we are going to now click Enable. And now it says e-commerce has been enabled. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back to my jobs page, and we are going to add a new zone. We're going to call it Incoming POs. Yes. And it is going to be an active zone. That is correct. And I'm going to put it in the front here. And then I'm going to go back to my shop, go to my garage settings, and I'm going to change this to go to incoming POs. All right. So now that's set. Okay. So the next step is we now have a way for the orders to come in and where they go in MSA. What we want to do is we want to make our parts available for other shops to see. So clicking this button just goes to your shop parts list. And you'll now see there is a new column here with a little garage icon and checkboxes underneath it. This means these parts that are checked will be available for shops that connect to you for them to see the retail price and what the discount you offer, essentially their wholesale price. So what we want to do is I'm going to click a couple parts here. So we'll use Jimmy's Big Turbo Kit. Let's say we make that in-house. Maybe we're going to do this vendor part 2, and we can add a new part entirely. We'll call it Super Turbo Compound Setup Stage 5. And it's going to be fancy part number. And we make this part for $4,000, but we retail it for $8,000. And really, there's no vendor on it because we make it ourselves, right? So we're going to hit save. And actually, I'm also going to track inventory on this, and we'll say we have 5 of these because that is a function that works as well. And we're going to hit save. Okay, so now we have the Super Compound Turbo Stage 5. We want this to be available for vendor sales. And now we have a couple parts that are available for other shops to buy. Okay, so that is the first part of this. So now we are going to skip over to the next shop. Okay, I'm now logged in as my second shop. So here we are in the shop that needs to buy parts. And maybe we buy parts from MSA Restorations. So we're going to go to parts and go to our vendor list, and we're going to look for MSA Restorations. So you will see this vendor on here, and it says request access. This vendor I did not create in the shop. The MSA network, when you mark yourself as available for e-commerce, we automatically add your information to every shop in the MSA system. So now every shop can see MSA Auto Restorations LLC's parts list. So you will, if you use MSA, you will see it now as well. And you can click this request access button, and we're going to see what it does. Basically, we are asking, hey, MSA Auto Restorations, me as Acme wants to buy parts from you. I'm going to click the request access button. Okay. Skipping back to the first shop, this is what happens. I go to my shop settings, and there is a 4th step here that says approve shop partners and set discounts. If I click this, we're now going to see the Acme shop on here. And we have not approved them, we have not denied them, and nor we have given them a discount. You might be wondering, how do I know somebody asked? And we have a solution for that. I'm going to go to the dashboard, I'm going to go to the user sections, and I'm going to edit myself to get a notification for vendor access request. So if you turn this on and hit save, I'm going to get a little bell every time somebody wants to connect to me. So it says vendor access requested by Shop Acme. I click on it, it brings me right to it. So here we are. I am the MSA Restorations, and I know the guys at Acme, and they buy parts from me. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, you are established, and I'm going to give you 20% off. That's the discount I give you from my retail price. I'm going to hit say yes. Okay, so now you are connected. You can buy parts from me. Going back to the Acme shop. All right, now I'm looking at the Acme shop, and it now says approved. It did it in real time. So the guys over at MSA Auto Restoration asked or said, yes, you can buy parts from us. I click into it. I can see now my history, which is probably blank because I haven't ordered any parts yet. And I can see parts. Hey, you know what? There's 3 parts on here. Who would have thought, right? So we got Super Compound Turbo Stage 5, the vendor part, and the Jimmy's Big Turbo Kit, right? So he gives us a 20% discount, which off of this is $1,600, right? So he's got 5 of them in stock. This is where the magic happens. I can now import all these parts from him. It will ask you, do you want to add the information? Yes, we do. Okay, great. Now all these parts are now in my system. When I go into a job, I'm working on this job here, and I want to add a part, and I want the Super Compound Turbo. Right there. Super Compound Turbo Setup Stage 5. I did not have to add that part information into my system at all. I have the correct retail price based on my markup. I can always use the actual retail price, which would have been $8,000. But mine has what's called a pricing matrix based on the wholesale price, this is set by the MSA Auto Restorations. The retail price, you are allowed to adjust whatever you want. So yeah, now I can add this part to a job. Maybe we apply tax to it. Maybe we mark it as need to order, and we're going to go ahead and hit save. I do not have this part in stock. Let's say I want to order it from the MSA Auto Restorations. So I'm going to go back into my order status page. And this Super Compound Stage 5 Turbo setup, I'm going to go ahead and click this, and I'm going to create a PO. So if you're not sure how to make POs, that was a previous video, but here we are creating a PO. It has the vendor already selected because they were the one we pulled the part from. And in this case, I'm going to save it. And all I have to do is click the ordered button. It is going to submit the order directly and immediately to MSA Auto Restorations. So let's click it. All right. And now I'm going to go back to the MSA shop. We're going to close this. look at that. We got a notification. Job Acme PO1 created by purchase order submission from MSA Auto Registrations. So this is the new job. If I click into this, this is the shop and the part they ordered from me with the correct pricing. I have my work order view of what they're getting charged. I can now like ask for payment on it. And so that is how the system works. If I change my price on it, like, hey, you know what? Like I need to go edit my price on this thing. So let's go to my shop parts. And maybe that super compound turbo is now going to be more expensive. I'm going to edit it. And let's make this thing now $9,000. And we're going to change our wholesale price to $4,000. And maybe we need to adjust our quantity on hand. Maybe we have 15 of them in stock. Update. Okay. Close. We're going to save this. Good to go. We have 15 of them in stock. We have upped the price. And the other thing I want to do is I want to go to my job for Acme, which is now in the incoming POs. You can see it here. Maybe I want to add shipping to this thing. So, you know, we need to add shipping because it's not free. So let's go ahead and create a new one. We'll call it shipping. I'm going to make this $45. And that's it. Oop. Apply date. We'll make it today. Save. Okay. I've added the shipping to it. And so that's this part. The shop basically is done. We can mark it as completed if it's done. We can send the payment, whatever we need to do. Going back to the Acme shop, we see that it already updated with the shipping and handling, right? That's what we want it to do. So as the vendor fills in some of the information, maybe you didn't even know the price of the part and they need to adjust that, they can do that. And it automatically updates the PO for you as well. In this case, you could click to export to accounting, which is the QuickBooks export. But what I also want to know is that super compound turbo. Has the price changed yet? Let's check it. There we go. Okay. It updated the price. There we go. So now we have an updated price on this thing as well. So that's how the two work together. You can create purchase orders between each other. You can update them with shipping. You can, if the vendor's changing their inventory or whatever they need to do, they can do all that in real time. Okay, so that's really the gist of it. If you have any questions, we're going to be expanding this functionality. Obviously, we just rolled out with it. So if you'd like me to tweak it at all as you use it, just reach out and let us know. I welcome everybody to add their parts to the list and start sharing what they're selling, and so we can all kind of work together and improve the process we all have. All right, thanks for watching.